Today, we're going to talk about how to sell your coaching in 2026 and what I think is going to work. And I'll share all the reasons why I believe we need to shift the way we're doing it. So, if you don't know me, I say coach women over 50, but look, I coach all women. I coach women that have the same problems as women over 50. I'll share what those are in a minute. You'll be like, yeah, that's me. I fit in that category. So, today, I want to talk about something I have never talked about before on a training. I actually redid the training that I had planned on Monday and I thought, you know what? I need to share how I made six figures in 6 months. Now, I'm not promising you're going to do it. I'm going to give a disclaimer because I don't know who you are, but I'm going to tell you how I did it. And it is through free coaching calls. So I'm also going to share with you the 3 reasons why you need to have this strategy and why in 2026, I believe that it is a necessary step to selling. I'm going to help you identify why you don't like to sell. And I think once you identify that, then you will be able to fix it. First, let me say welcome though. I would love to know one word when we think about, I have that word authentic selling, but what comes up for you when you think about selling your coaching? What is the thing that comes up for you? I'm going to talk about a lot of that today. Okay. I'm going to talk to you about the Design Live Thrive Summit at the end. I'm Debbie Shadid. If you guys don't know me, I specialize in helping women who are terrible at tech. Like they're like, I just don't know what software to use. I don't know how to use it. I'm so not prepared for this. They don't like social media, which is kind of funny because actually they scroll on social media. So they actually like social media. They just don't like posting on social media. If you guys can relate to that, they want to look like a pro. They want to have their business set up. And I'm going to use air quotes correctly, right? I do love helping women over 50. I'm over 60. I like to do that. But anybody that needs the help that I have is welcome here. As I said, I help women even in their 20s. This is myself with one of my mentors, Kathleen Cameron, at a recent event in Canada. I love to be able to go and be around other women as well. And during my lunch breaks or during any break, I run downstairs and that's what I witnessed. Those two little Tykes cars right there are my 2 grandchildren, 3 years old and 18 months, that are probably down there hurting each other at the moment. So that might be what's happening, is they're fighting over those cars, but that's what I do during my breaks. Okay. So if I was guessing how you felt about selling, let me see what you put. Scared. Anybody else got an answer in there about how they feel about selling? I'm going to guess that you feel uncomfortable. I'm going to guess it's because you feel unprepared, you feel nervous, and we're worried about people saying no, right? We're worried about people saying those 2 letters, no, which I always like to tell people, it is literally 2 letters in a row that is an N and an O. It's just 2 letters. So we just need to get over ourselves. So here's what I want you to know. I am going to share the strategy that I used in my own business. I want to reiterate, I did not have an email list. I did not have a social media following. I did have social media accounts, but I had 0 coaches following me when I did this. So it is simpler than you think if you're willing to put in the time and do it. So let me get real. If you don't learn how to sell, and if you don't figure out what your problem is around selling, girl, you're going to have a problem because you will never make money in your business, right? We can be working on our business all the time, but it's only a hobby, a really expensive hobby, until we start making money. So I really want to get to the bottom of why you are not selling and really show you guys probably what you have in your mind about selling so you can change your perspective. So what might be coming up for you when you think about selling is, I don't want to be pushy. What if somebody says no? I'm not a salesperson. I don't know what to say. I don't want to sound desperate. I might feel like I'm bothering people. So I would be curious which one of those hits hardest for you. I remember that I can tell you I've been in all those places. Like I had to convince somebody. I felt all of those things. So I suspect probably pushy. Yeah, that sounds terrible, doesn't it? Who wants to be pushy? So one important question that I want you to answer, though, is what or who caused you to think these things? Like, I'm going to ask you, whoever answered that, know me, pushy. Who caused you to feel that sales was pushy? It's so good to answer the question because then we have a new understanding. And I'm going to bet that it was like a couple of people. It is very few people that actually made you feel or that actually sold to you in a pushy way. We think like car salespeople are pushy. We have like, I hope nobody's a car salesperson here. I didn't mean to offend you, but we have this persona that we think is pushy. Commission salespeople are pushy. Is that actually even true either? The people that I buy cars from, nobody's pushing me. He's like, take your time, come back. So the question is, are you actually pushy? I'm going to guess the answer is no. So you feel pushy, but you're not actually pushy. And you probably are not even trying to convince anyone to buy. Of course, you want to make a sale. Of course, you do. I want to sell you guys coaching today. Of course, you want to, but I don't want to twist anybody's arm. That sounds horrible, right? I want to work with people because we have an honest connection. So I'm going to guess again, it's happened very few times in your life, but it's like what sticks. So I hope this is really helping you unwire that. You know, I'm going to guess that you think selling means that you have to convince somebody. And what if that wasn't true? It doesn't actually have to be true. I'm going to guess it means that you're aggressive or that you're manipulative. I don't think you're either any of that either. I like to say I like to help people make a decision that will serve them. I want to help people take the step that's best for them. Do I sometimes say like, look, you should do this? I do, but it's not because I'm trying to make a buck. I'm saying like, look, you should do this because I have what you need and you need this. Okay. So you might also be thinking like the good coaches out there, they don't even have to sell. And that's not true either. Everybody has to sell. And the other thing I always tell people is you've been selling your whole life. If you had an interaction with somebody this morning, you already sold them something. They might not have paid you money for it, but you sold them something, right? I sell my grandkids on getting out of each other's cars out there. When I run downstairs, we're always selling. So selling actually is easier than we think. It's just, again, start catching those thoughts about it feels pushy, it feels convincing, and ask yourself, is that me or is that just a story? Okay. So it's not true. You don't have to be aggressive. You don't have to be arm twisting. And you also don't have to be a good coach to get clients. And I don't know what a good coach is, right? It's the perception of a good coach. Does it feel uncomfortable to sell? I'm not going to, yes, of course it is. I'm not going to lie. It feels uncomfortable. It feels hard, but you can do it anyway. And does it get easier? It gets easier. And then you know what happens? It feels hard again. It's just the cycle of life. It's just part of what we do. Sometimes coaching people feels hard, right? Sometimes everything feels hard. Is it a problem? No, it's not. Okay. So because you feel this way, what I would guess is that you are posting on social media. Raise your hand and hoping somebody will reach out. You're avoiding sales conversations altogether. This is like guilty. And I'm calling myself out, like posting on social media and saying I did it, but it's like, I didn't really even say you could have a call with me. And to be honest, even saying like the links in the bio, that's not really selling. Okay. You might be waiting for somebody to find you. You might feel entitled that because you got a certification, because you got your business set up, because you're on social media, somebody should reach out. You might think that you need more followers before you can do anything. And I'm going to bet for sure you might be hiding behind planning. And I'm even going to say creating content because most of the time it's just thinking about it. It's like looking for the next best thing, but you're not actually posting anything. Okay. Is anybody feeling called out here? I'm really calling myself out because I've done all these things. The hard truth is, though, the discomfort that you're feeling and all those things that you're doing is literally killing your business. In fact, it's not even creating a business, right? You can be the best coach in the world. You can have incredible transformations. You could have the perfect niche, but if you don't sell anything, you have nothing. Okay. So in 2026, if you can't learn how to sell from a way that feels really natural and authentic for you, I don't think you'll survive. And I'm not like trying to scare anyone. I'm just being honest. so much changed this year, right? The coaching industry is competitive, but the good news is because it's competitive, more people know about coaching, which helps you. Okay. I believe the cream of the crop, they just rise to the top. And those are the ones who are promoting themselves. Those are the ones who know how to sell. Look, we are all competing now with ChatGPT. And so we have to learn how to sell ourselves over ChatGPT. We actually have everything that ChatGPT doesn't have, which is a way to actually have human connection. And we can go all the way back to COVID. Like that feels like forever ago. Was that a different lifetime ago? Human connection like disappeared then. Okay. And that's just been multiplied. Now we have AI. People are desperately seeking that. And that's why we have to really change the way that we're selling. So the good news is because people want human connection, we're in a good shape, you guys. That's what we love to do. The other good news, it is so much easier to access people with all kinds of free marketing. In my coaching, the only marketing that I teach is free marketing. There are so many avenues to do free marketing, and it is so much easier to do free marketing than it is to do paid marketing. The level of understanding about what a coach can do is growing. This has been my mission, is to help people market their business so that people understand what coaching is. Collectively, everybody on this call, if we do a great job of marketing our business, it benefits everybody, right? Because the only people that are meant for me are meant for me or for you or for you. Okay. So I really believe that the number of people who want to hire a coach, it is growing more than ever. And look, I'm a data junkie, so I went and looked. Okay. I went to ChatGPT, my friend, who is the best place to do research. I've listed the other sources here, but ICF, which is just a small sampling of coaches, they reported in 2023 that the coaches they're certifying grew by about 15%. That is a small sampling again. But what I love to talk about is the projection just in the US, not in the world, just in the US, that coaching, the number of dollars that is going to be spent on coaching in the next year is $1 billion more, $1 billion in the US only. So that's a 20% increase from this year. You know, what I loved about this is it's like, okay, wait a minute. If the coaches have only grown by 15%, and the demand is grown by 20%, that's good news for us, right? There's fewer coaches and even more demand. So I'm super excited about that. Whatever those stats work out, it just goes to show that there is more demand than ever. So selling doesn't have to feel the way that you think it is. I'm going to tell you a way that you can sell without feeling pushy, without needing a script, without needing to pressure anyone, that will actually feel good, that will give you the opportunity to do what you love, which I know we all want to help people, that will feel authentic to you. And it will work even if you have no list and no social media following. Okay. So this is what changed everything for me. And I already mentioned at the beginning, it is my free coaching call strategy. I built my current business with this. Okay. These are not just free willy-nilly calls. These are strategically planned calls, 30-minute sessions. Okay. That means that I'm not just giving somebody a nugget in a DM, which I don't even like DM marketing, but I'm just, for those of you that are doing it, means you're not answering some question over there. Okay. Not that you can't. I'm talking about giving somebody a real transformation. Okay. So you're not having those pick my brain sessions. When people would say that to me, like, can we get together and I want to pick your brain about something. I'm like, no, but you can schedule a coaching call, right? No, I don't want to do it the way that you want to. So those 30-minute strategic free coaching calls, they turn into consultations that turn into paying clients. And that is literally how I built my business. I looked at my business when I started coaching coaches exclusively, with 0 coaches on my list, 0 people following me. And I started finding people to, I was going to say, sell my free coaching sessions to, which is what you do. You sell your free coaching sessions. And I did it until my calendar was full. So here is what can happen for you I grew my email list only to 100, you guys. I went from zero to $100,000 and only with 100 people on my email list. I have thousands of people on my list now, but when you have a really small list where you're really connected with people, even with no social media following, you can do it. So free calls, they turn into consults. Then what happens is those people who then become clients, they refer your friends. They refer their friends. Okay. Testimonials that you've had and the transformations, they become your salespeople. I actually have this client's picture right here who also used this process. But what I'm thinking is she was one of the first people that I gave a free coaching call to. I forgot about this. And she said at the end of the call, how do I work with you? And I said, well, that's not what we discuss on this call. If you would like to schedule a consultation, I can do that. And she was like, really? And I'm like, no, I promised you a free call. So she became a client and she used the same strategy. And this is, what I'm going to talk to you guys about today. So I'll just tell you that this is the same strategy that a lot of our clients have used in the last few weeks. This particular coach sold 4 people out of 20 free calls in 3 weeks. The next one, Coach S, got 3 clients out of 7 free calls in less than 3 days. Okay. Coach V, I'm going to say all their names before it's over. She sold 1 for 1 over a 3-week period of time. Coach N had 11 free sessions and she sold her first client ever. And then within 8 weeks, she then sold her highest package. How did they do that? They did it with free coaching calls. Okay. All of these women, they skipped that posting trial and error part. Okay. They started with no list. They had no following. Okay. They all got results in weeks. So let me be crystal clear about this. So these free calls, they're 100% free, just like I was telling you about that client that I did that free coaching call with. Okay. They're real coaching where you actually really want to help them. It's not a sales call. Okay. The beautiful part is you're gathering data while you're on the call that you can use when you are on the consultation, but really you're just taking care of people. Okay. They are planned. Again, they're not willy-nilly calls. We have a framework that we taught those clients, but they are planned calls that are only 30 minutes because you don't want to go more than that. Okay. You want to give them one outcome. What you are not doing though is pitching your program. What you are not doing is trying to follow a script, which just makes you nervous. Okay. What you're not doing is pressuring anyone to buy you during that call. And you're also not disguising it as a strategy session where you really want to sell them. Okay. Even when I started my coaching business online in 2016, somebody said, have breakthrough calls. And I was like, I'm not really doing a breakthrough call. I'm doing a sales call. And that does not feel right. And then they were like, call them discovery calls. And y'all can call them whatever you want to call them. But I was like, even then, I was like, that doesn't really sound right because they're signing up for a sales conversation. Okay. So you call it what you want to call it, but just be real about what it is. Okay. So you want to give a real result, real value in 30 minutes. You want to create an eye-opening experience for them. You want to demonstrate your skill. You want them to see what it's like to work with you. You want to give them a win. So they're like, hey, I understand what coaching is. I get it. Okay. It's just a micro example of what could happen. Okay. I know most of you guys work with people for a long time. I do too, but it's just a micro example. So I want to tell you, it is not too good to be true. I'm going to tell you how all of this works. Okay. When you properly manage the free call, here's what happens. The client gets an aha moment, right? They get a win. They get to experience your coaching. I'm just curious in the chat, does it feel easier to do it that way? Like to give, everybody here wants to be able to give coaching, wants to be able to help people, I'm sure. They're passionate about doing that, right? You can have a natural conversation. And here's what happens. If you have a really good conversation, most of the time at the end, they say, so tell me what it is you really do. Most of the time, you don't even have to invite people to a consultation. They ask you, okay? But at the end, you can say, if you want to, you can say, look, I loved this. This is what I do. I'd love to just, if you're free, we can continue this and make it more of a consultation, right? You could literally change it right there or have them come back in 30 minutes for an actual consultation. But that's it. It's no pressure. It's no rush. Now, I will say there is a 30-minute timer. Okay. You now have to know what to do in 30 minutes and you have to control the call. And I don't mean control in a bad way, but as coaches, we know that we have to manage the call because you can ask somebody how they're doing at the beginning of the call and they could blab on for 30 minutes. Like that's not useful. Okay. So you do have to control the flow of the call so that you leave the end getting them a result. And you also leave the end knowing what you would be able to support them around. So again, this works because they experienced you, right? They don't have to guess how you would help them. They know how you can, right? They don't have to wonder what it would be like working with you. They already worked with you. They don't have to see if they can trust you through a post. They feel your value immediately. Okay. It's the bridge. The free coaching call takes people from being somebody who might be interested to a paying client. It really is the missing piece. This is literally why I redid this whole training on Monday. I was like, wait a minute, the gold that we have demonstrated in my business with all of our clients this year was these free coaching sessions. This is a way to sell in 2026. And I'll just tell you why it matters more than ever. Okay. Number one, I'm naming it the year of trust. That's what I'm proclaiming because here's the thing. We know that trust was eroded by AI, right? We have people don't even know who they're looking at in the picture. I start looking at people's new pictures on Instagram and I'm like, was that AI generated? I think it was, right? I'm seeing it all the time. And I'm turned off by that. If I'm turned off by it, other people are, right? I don't want to talk to a clone or see a clone on a video. I don't want do I use AI to clean up my posts? Absolutely. Please understand that. But I don't want to know that AI just told me what to say, right? So there's this trust that has to be recreated or built. It's important, right? There's information everywhere. They can get advice from anyone. And the truth is, we all know how ChatGPT is. They're actually just getting yes advice. They're not even getting real advice because ChatGPT loves to tell you how amazing you are. So what they need to get is the experience of working with a coach. Okay. And that's what happens with the free coaching call. No amount of content that you would create will give somebody the same feeling that could create. Okay. You also have to prove you're the real deal. This is, again, the exact same problem that we have to overcome. How do you do that? Number one is to overcome the AI thing, but also, how many of you guys bought coaching that you got burned on? I got burned so bad in 2025, hugely. I'm talking about more money than I'd ever spent on anything 2 times. Okay. So there's so many people that are making big promises, which has made everybody feel skeptical. It's the whole online space. So yeah, you got to be able to make sure that you show that you really know what you're talking about. So there's too many people that are under delivering, which makes people skeptical. Okay. By the way, just on a side note, you don't have to overpromise. Promise what you can give somebody. Okay. People need to see how you can help. And again, that's how the free coaching call proves it. People need time. I've referenced this study already, the 7-11-4 study. This was done in 2025. So it's a current study by Google. People need 7 hours with you. I'm like, 7 hours. Okay. 11 touch points across 4 different locations to buy. Now, I don't know what consumer that Google's talking about. If they're talking about you buying from Ann Taylor, I don't know. But the point is, we all know that there are so many more inputs. If this applies to us, and I'm sure it does, that means that the free coaching call is part of that time that people spend with you instead of just scrolling. Okay. That's so much difference. You're not giving away your time. This is what I came up with. It's a strategy. It's investing your time. Like it's a new business strategy. Invest your time. ChatGPT can never give that, can never give what you've given. So it's an unfair advantage. I have to tell you, I hope your mind is blown because when I was doing this training set up on Monday, 2 days ago, I was like, I'm blowing my own mind. This is so true. This is what I believe will change the game for coaches in 2026. So I'm so glad that you're here. But the question is how do you get the coaching calls? And I'm not going to go into all that today because that would be like layers and layers of training. If you don't have any business and you have no email following, you don't even know where to, like so many people are like, I don't even know where to find my people, which I have to validate you and say, I think that's a legitimate question. That is not explained in most of the trainings. Like, where do you find people? It's not explained how to connect with people. I would love to introduce you. Now that I've told you about the free coaching call, I'd love to introduce you to how I can help you fill your calendar. And I've already alluded to it, which was our Design, Live, Thrive Summit. So let me talk to you about, there's two paths. Look, you guys know how to post on social media. I've literally told you exactly what to do. Have free coaching calls. I've literally told you. That's the answer. Okay. I told you two things to do, and I'm going to do a recap here at the end, but I just told you two things. Number one, identify why you feel bad about selling and get over it. Okay. And number two, have the free coaching calls and do all of these things. You have to grow your list. You have to grow your following. You know, you have to build trust, which takes time. You have to hope that people will book calls with you. You have to market yourself on social media. These are like all non-negotiables. Okay. Which it takes time. I have a shortcut that I'm going to tell you about, which skips the posting trial and error because we do it for you. It gets you in front of the people who are ready to book. It helps you have conversations now with people, and it will help you get your first clients in just a few weeks. So I want to tell you about how you can have fun with your business. Okay. What is fun in business is talking about the thing that we love so much. It is sharing what we're most passionate about. That's why we're all doing this, right? We love to talk about the thing that we know so well. It's telling people about what excites you most. It's sharing your own story. It's sharing transformation with you as the expert in your niche. Okay. There is that one thing that you could share that you would get appointments booked on, and I'm going to tell you how to do it. It is to be part of our Design, Live, Thrive Summit. Let me share all those details with you. I do want to answer any questions about selling pain points, about the free coaching sessions. Plus, I'm going to give away that free coaching call here in just a few minutes. So at our summit, let me just give you a quick backstory. I created this Design, Live, Thrive Summit for our clients because in 2023, I thought, what is the missing piece that people need that come to work with me? And one is respect. Like, they need to be valued even by their own family for being this crazy coach, right? They need respect from their coworkers. They need to be positioned as an expert. And how do you do that? Okay. I thought I can put them on a stage, a virtual stage, as an expert, and we can showcase our clients as experts. The other thing is they need people to learn from them and understand what they do. Okay. So when you are able to position yourself as an expert through a signature talk, by the way, that we help you write and create, and get you in front of people who are looking for coaches. So the Design, Live, Thrive Summit is for women who are interested in getting their life to the next level. So the way we market the summit is, if you are somebody who is like ready for more in your life, maybe it's your next chapter. It's like you're ready to optimize your health. You're ready to make 2026 your best year. Come to this summit and learn from expert coaches. And the coaches that are there, and I hope it's you guys, we have 20 spots already taken, but the coaches are not selling coaching, they're teaching. So they're informing people about the thing that they love most. They're helping the world understand why you need a health coach, why you need somebody to help you with your gut, why you need somebody to help you with the intimacy levels in your marriage. Somebody was talking about why you need somebody to help you in those things. So you get to be positioned in front of people who are looking for coaches. What we added to our last summit in September was this VIP ticket option, which included 2 free coaching sessions. And this is how our clients got free coaching calls booked. I had to go look for my own free coaching sessions when I built my business. All of our clients, they got calls booked because of the summit. So the VIP ticket holders, they found the coaches that they wanted to book with, and they got 30-minute coaching calls, 2 of them. So it was amazing. We have all kinds of results to share, but here's just some of them. I want to point the one in the middle. This particular coach, who is one of the ones who sold 3 clients in 72 hours, she also The summit was on Friday and Saturday. By Tuesday, used her same summit talk and was able to be in another summit with the same summit talk. So that's pretty cool. So this particular client, again, September 11th, the summit was on the 5th and 6th, had 3 coaching calls, already had a consult, and had 4 more the next week. So super exciting to be able to get calls booked. 20 of the spots are already taken. We have 5 remaining spots right now. 45% of the current speakers are returning. Why? Because they got calls booked. Because what we added to the summit in September, it worked. It turned free coaching calls into clients. It was a proven path that I used, and it's now been proven to work in our summit process. By the way, if you're listening on YouTube, I'm going to sign off here. I want you to invite you to subscribe so you don't miss a thing. If you want to schedule a call, there's my link to schedule.